In many homes, the day begins before the sun. But for Sarah, the day began before the world, a silent sentence of unending labor, carried out in a kitchen that felt less like a heart and more like a cage. Doris says, "Sarah, the coffee is too weak. Are we serving tinted water to our guests today? Make it again. And where are the organic eggs? Your memory is like a sieve." Doris sweeps into the kitchen, perfectly dressed. She holds a small ledger, tapping it impatiently. "This is your fault, Sarah. My hands are too busy managing the accounts, the house expenses are spiraling. You waste too much milk. You must be more mindful of every single dollar. Our family business is struggling, and we cannot afford your carelessness." Sarah says, "I will be more careful, Doris." They demanded her silence, her obedience, and her service. They wanted a perfect traditional wife. They wanted her hands. But Sarah knew her real value lay in her mind. Sarah serving breakfast. Mark is arguing on his phone about a bounced check. George looks haggard, sipping his coffee without comment. Mark says, "No, I told you the money would be there. Just hold it for 3 more days." He slams the phone down. "The suppliers are getting aggressive, George. This business is dying." Doris sighs dramatically. They all look stressed. Sarah cleans up the table, unnoticed. Sarah's husband, her in-laws, they all saw the burden of their struggling print shop. But Sarah saw something else, a gap. A desperate need for modern solutions that their old ways couldn't provide. Sarah is sitting on the floor in a storage cupboard or utility room. She carefully pulls out a small, battered laptop and an old textbook on data analysis. Sarah whisper. "They taught me to manage their ledger, line by line. They showed me their bills, their debt, their losses. But they never realized that by doing so, they were handing me the keys to their whole kingdom." Close up on the laptop screen. Sarah is working on a spreadsheet, analyzing market trend. Sarah found her work in the hours they slept. She was researching, learning, and quietly building a separate life. She was a self-taught e-commerce analyst and digital strategist. Sarah uses a secure VPN and a separate email. She's on a silent video call, confidently presenting data to a client. She quickly hides her notes under a stack of linens as Doris walks past, coughing. She skips lunch to use the tiny internet cafe down the street for a critical upload. The camera focuses on her hands. Now they are not scrubbing or kneading, they are typing complex formulas. Doris says, "Sarah. Where are you? Get down here. Stop daydreaming." Sarah snaps back to reality, guiltily hiding her work. She emerges from the room, wiping her hands, playing the role she's expected to play. Every client she onboarded, every successful project she completed, felt like a small act of defiance. Her work was her savings account, her confidence, and her weapon. She was using their criticism, their very ledger, to build her own future. A few weeks later. The atmosphere is tense. George and Mark are sitting opposite a stern-looking banker/investor, who is clearly unhappy. Banker say, "George, I'm sorry. The collateral is insufficient, and the last 3 quarters show consistent loss. We can no longer extend the line of credit. You have 60 days to cover the pending invoices, or the bank will seize the warehouse." The banker leaves. George looks utterly defeated, staring at the floor. George whisper. 60 days. We are ruined. The family name, my life's work. Mark says. What are we going to do? Mom, do you have any jewelry left? We have to sell something. Doris starts weeping, clutching her face. She turns her rage onto Sarah, who has been standing quietly in the doorway. Doris screamed at her. And you just stand there. Useless. Why are you not helping? Why are you not praying? You are supposed to bring good fortune to this house, but you have brought nothing but bad luck and debt. Sarah says. Doris, I will not stand here and be blamed for a business model that is a decade out of date. The whole room falls silent. They stare at Sarah, stunned by her sudden authority and clarity. Mark say, Sarah, you are out of line. Sarah ignored Mark's addressing George directly. George, how much time is left? You said 60 days. George, shaken, but answering her, 57 days. And the amount is $72,000. Sarah walks calmly to the dining table. She pulls out her laptop. It's the first time they've seen it, and a thick, professionally bound report. You wanted to know about the accounts, Doris? Let's talk about the accounts. She opens the report. She projects a professional-looking chart onto the wall using a small, portable projector, shocking the family. My name is Sarah. I have built a remote consulting service specializing in optimizing supply chain logistics and digitizing sales pipelines for small and medium enterprises. Over the last 18 months, I have worked with 10 clients across 3 states. When they look at the wall, Sarah's consulting revenue, $120,000. Doris, stuttering, completely disbelieving, what is this drama? Where did this money come from? You have stolen. Sarah, voice firm, cutting through the accusation. This money came from work, Doris. Harder work than any of you have ever had to do. I earned it by studying while serving coffee, by coding while you slept, and by calculating ROI while scrubbing the floor. Sarah opens a bank notification screen on the laptop and turns it toward them. Sarah says, the amount of $72,000? It was transferred to the family account 48 hours ago. It is paid in full. The bank will be calling you shortly to confirm the transfer. Close up on the family's faces, shock, shame, and a slow, creeping respect. George rises slowly, looking at Sarah, tears in his eyes. Sarah, you saved us. Sarah calmly closing her laptop. She doesn't seek praise, only respect. George, I am not your savior. I am your partner. The traditional business needs complete restructuring, and I have prepared a full digital strategy report to take it online. We will work together, and my role must be respected. The days of me being just a servant are over. I will not be silent again. Sarah stands tall, making direct eye contact with everyone. She finally feels free. The women of the future do not wait to be asked. They do not wait for permission. They observe. They learn. They work. And when the world needs them most, they open their secret ledger and show the world their true worth. Sarah walks away from the stunned family, moving toward a window, letting the bright morning sun wash over her face.